something, okay, and then either learns something in general or learns the truth about something, and from there he achieves what is called an enlightenment. Okay, kind of think about if you don't know something, you're kept in the dark about it, but if you find out something, you shed light on it. Okay, so enlightenment. This would be something like Oedipus. His ignorance is the fact that he doesn't know that he's actually related to the king and queen, and then the knowledge comes from finding out that he is, which he'd rather not know.
So how do you find out?
I don't remember how he found out. It's been a while since I've read the actual.
Oh, I couldn't record it.
So that's fine.
Something.
I'm gonna talk to you guys about that.
I don't know when the site is, because you didn't, that was really weird.
Whenever you go in, it's the second post, and it's the 9th slide, and it has the website. But you can look up just Shakespeare sonnets, and it'll pull it up.
If I could get it on a doc, do you think you could print it for me?
Yeah, you can print it here. All right, everybody ready?
Yeah.
Caitlin? Next up is the tragic flaw, and this is where things start to go wrong. Or this is why things go wrong, really. So tragic heroes have to have either a fatal character flaw or a lapse in judgment. Okay, fatal character flaw meaning, or flaw in general, meaning that they have some sort of imperfection in their character and their personality. This would be something like Romeo's impatient. Because he's so impatient, he sets things in motion that lead to his downfall and a lot of other characters' downfall as well. Or they might have a lapse in judgment, which means that they they make it some sort of bad decision, which could be something like Hamlet's tiny lapse in judgment, whenever instead of checking to see if it's his uncle, he just stabs the guy through the curtain, okay? Which is directly responsible for his downfall, okay? If you track it's kind of leads to 5 things. If you track the steps that happen after he kills Polonius, that one action is directly responsible for his death and everyone else's. So if he hadn't have stabbed the guy behind the curtain, he wouldn't have caused Ophelia to go insane. Okay? If he had not caused her to go insane, she would not have drowned. If she would not have drowned, Laertes, her brother, would not have shown up and challenged him to a sword fight. If he'd not had a sword fight, he would not have been poisoned and died.
And his mother, too.
And his mother as well. Okay? So, that one lapse in judgment was what set in motion everything else.
I thought Romeo and Juliet killed themselves to prove a point to their parents.
No. They killed themselves because they couldn't stand to live without the other. So,
I mean, like, it's more of a reason to prove a point, though.
but they're not trying to prove a point. They
But,
had
like-
plans. Here's the thing, though. They had plans to run away together. But because he thinks she's dead, Okay, well, whenever it doesn't close, there's your
He
sign.
really should have just waited a second.
Yeah, if he literally waited like 5 more minutes, she'd have woken up.
Like,
But
he should've
again, it's
felt
his
remorse.
impatience that, that leads to bad things happening. Okay.
Okay, but, like, what did the parents of them do afterwards?
They reconcile, and they both agree to pay for like a golden statue of the other family's kid, as like kind of an in memory, so that they
So
will
their
stop
bloodline-
fighting.
Their bloodline literally stopped there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's suppressing. Yeah. Yes.
The bloodline stopped. there
Well,
because
okay.
it
Actually,
stopped.
Romeo does have a cousin who can continue on the bloodline.
For his
Um,
father's, for that
yeah.
side, but what about
But the other
Juliet?
side, there's, no, wait, she does have a cousin also. She has a cousin named Ron.
So, how do you know that anyone dies, but doesn't say,
It does tell you in the play that he dies.
oh,
No, deaths are scripted. It will say like, they'll have their final lines and it'll say, dies.
oh.
Really fast, I forgot to ask you, at the beginning of class. Can I go to the, gym and get my Hobbit book? Cause that's where it is apparently.
After we finish this,
Okay.
What are we gonna turn right in our Hobbit book?
next Friday.
Are these like stories?
Next Friday on my birthday.
Are they true stories?
No.
No.
No, like, so they don't like stab each other?
The characters
Each
do. They're
other.
not based on true stories.
Oh, so they actually die?
The characters.
What do you mean?
Okay,
But
so
it's a
this
book.
story is
It's
not
fake.
real.
It's a book. It is a fictional story.
So the characters that are playing, the person that's playing the character doesn't die? It's just.
It's fate like Kim Kardashian's
That's
Barbie.
not fun.
Okay, do you watch movies like that? If the actor doesn't actually die, it's not a good movie? Okay, same thing.
The actor dies, but he's not like
Dead.
Yes.
dead. Like if he didn't, like if he stabbed himself, he'd be dead. But if he acted,
Caitlin,
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
not say that. Let's not use me an example of that.
Okay,
You're right next to
the
me.
same thing as a movie, it's just live.
Her, he used him.
I was talking to
Okay.
her and you were
Yeah.
So
right
like, he
there.
doesn't actually get stabbed.
Could he used her? Could he used her? He could have used him.
No, so they use like pig's blood, and they take a knife and they'll hit him there and use the pig's blood. And
Sometimes
it'll
they would
go.
use ribbons too to show.
Ribbons or pig's
Yeah.
blood or
Ribbons, how the heck would they use ribbons? to show blood?
Ribbons or like,
I'm
ketchup.
reading.
No, they didn't have ketchup at the time. Or like, some kind of cloth or something. Here's the thing, it's acting, and they didn't want the plays to be graphic.
Yeah, I'm not graphics like
You guys are totally missing my point.
They are.
No, I know, I get your point. I just don't wanna.
Yeah. Graphic stuff has only been popular over the last few years, and that's because everybody's so desensitized that we don't care anymore.
You know, except for
Alright, we
YouTube,
gotta keep going though,
'cause you have
y'all
to call
keep
them
dragging me off
boys.
topic.
No,
Okay,
no.
Yes,
No.
okay. Alright, number 5.
Oh.
Next, number 5 is tragic irony. And before we get into that, I'm gonna tell you guys what irony is, so you need that bottom one also. Irony is conflict between what might be expected and what actually happens. So there are 3 different types of irony. There is dramatic irony, which is usually what is applied to in plays. This is where the audience knows that something is coming, but the character does not know yet, such as in Romeo and Juliet, where we know that Juliet is faking the death. It's not real. She's actually alive, but Romeo is not aware, and we kind of see what's coming. Okay? Oh, that's all. Nobody poisoned her. The priest helps her.
the tree.
There is situational irony, in which something about a situation that you're in is ironic. And then there is verbal irony, which a lot of times gets confused with sarcasm, but is something quite different. So sarcasm, if you look up the actual definition of sarcasm, is when someone is making some kind of remark that is meant to be hurtful or insulting. Verbal irony, however, is whenever you say something that is the opposite of what you mean, okay? Such as if you say, great, I've got a hole in my shirt.
You don't really have a hole in your shirt.
No, you have a hole in your shirt, but you're saying it's great.
But you're not happy about it.
So you're saying the opposite of what you
Or you
mean.
got a stain on
Okay.
your shirt.
So we say that's a lot of, call that sarcasm, but it's really not sarcasm. Okay? With tragic irony, with the reversal of fortune and the enlightenment, that knowledge gain, the character has a lot of character growth. Okay? The character has a lot of character growth in that they are either becoming a better person or are aware that they have flaws. However, whenever they face their fate, they can't live with the knowledge or the ideals that they have been faced with. Okay? Alright, hang on, one more, then you can ask me. I don't care.
Wait, wasn't there
Guys.
5 minute video on the other one?
Yeah, we don't have time to watch it. It's a little bit of a song, you guys can go on. Guys. And tomorrow, I want you in a real seat, because that's not conducive away from them too. Let's do it.
Hi.
Us 3.
But you're not in, that's not a.
Is this good?
So I need you in a seat. Alright, last one is catharsis. This one is the sudden emotional climax, or the emotional high
Wasn't that
point.
the guy's name?
Oedipus.
I swear there's a guy named.
No.
Harry the Platypus.
No.
Alright, boys. So this is the emotional climax, and this is where the audience feels either pity or fear or some other kind of dramatic emotional change. Okay, this is where there's a release of emotions. Okay, the moment of catharsis in Hamlet would be where right after Hamlet has discovered the truth about everything that has happened at the sword fight, and his mother has died, and he sort of has that sudden emotional moment, and he kills his uncle.
How does he kill
Okay.
him? Oh yeah, he
Uh,
forces him
yeah.
to drink. Okay.
He poisons him. So,
What about the, what is,
Romeo and Juliet.
that's where she died, there's fake.
Yeah, that would be their actual death. Would kind of, they would have that cathartic moment right before the death. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it had 2 cathartic moments.
Yeah, there's one for him and then one for her. So yes.
I think hers is more tragic.
I don't know, maybe.
I
because
just feel
she's-
because she,
Yeah,
because she was. just
She
really-
she actually saw him dead,
yeah,
Yeah.
not
And
him
she
seeing
was
her
faking
Yeah.
it.
dead.
yes.
When she was dead, did she like look blue as if like a lack of oxygen?
She would feel cold to the touch, and she would look kind of like very
Pale.
Yeah.
Is that what?
Also, can I go?